I'm sure you've all seen the trailer for Marvel's Wolverine. Insomniac Studios stayed strong and steadfast throughout the leaks and delivered one hell of a banger to bring in even more hype for the game. With Insomniac's perseverance, they're finally expanding the Spider-Man universe. That series already has 3 games, with potential for a Venom spin-off and of course, the final chapter, the third game to close out the series. Although there's speculation on if there'll be any more spin-offs after that, Insomniac could always choose the cash route and make another Miles Morales game, a Silk game now that Cindy Moon was revealed, or even a Spider-Man 2099 spin-off since Miguel O'Hara has been teased to be in the next game. But that's besides the point. The whole premise of this video is focused around Rocksteady and their failure to expand their gaming universe. Before I begin, I want to say that without Rocksteady's Arkham series, there would be no Spider-Man. You could take that however you want, but I stand by my opinion. Rocksteady's Arkham was a revolutionary series that completely changed gaming as a whole, and directly shaped superior games moving forward. Insomniac took that Arkham formula and improved on it so much more, transforming Rocksteady's blueprint into what we all know and love today. I'm going to assume that most people are aware of Insomniac's leak, which revealed their pipeline for the foreseeable future containing games like Venom, Wolverine, and the infamous cancelled Spider-Man multiplayer game, The Great Web. There's even potential for more X-Men games. I don't want to dwell too much on Insomniac, and I advise every one of you to take this information with a grain of salt, but this studio is doing exactly what Rocksteady should have done from the start. Insomniac is expanding their gaming universe to the max, where Rocksteady fell short and solely relied on Batman. Now, we did get DLCs which allowed us to play storylines for characters like Nightwing, Red Hood, Catwoman, Robin, Batgirl, and Harley Quinn. At the time, this worked. I think it scratched the itch of players who want to experience something new without Rocksteady taking a big risk of developing a game for a whole new character. Now, it's debatable whether quote-unquote side characters should be left for DLC or get their own game. Let's take a look at other characters that Rocksteady could focus on to expand beyond Arkham and revive this universe to its former glory. Before I do that, I want to talk about Insomniac one more time. They did make a Miles Morales game, which was shorter than the first, and with a hefty price tag that some people disagreed with. Despite all this, I still think he deserved a game, and to be fair, I bought it on sale for about $15 with all the DLC, so I'm not complaining. Within this universe, Peter's getting older, and Insomniac is setting up Miles to be their main Spider-Man, so having his own game makes sense. Comparing that to Batman Inc., and out of everyone we saw that was playable, I really only see a Nightwing game making sense and working this way. The Grey Son of Gotham has the most potential to be a series successor to Arkham. Sure, the DLC was fun, but I don't think it did Nightwing justice. He has so much more depth to him as a character, and his rogues gallery is probably the most developed out of the Bat family, but that's not saying much. You could play around the idea of having a game centered around villains like Blockbuster and the Court of Owls. But the main reason I don't want to talk about Nightwing is because of how similar that game would be to the whole Arkham franchise. I know that seems counterintuitive to me saying that the Miles Morales game was justified, but that was the second entry into the Insomniac universe. We've seen about 4 games from Rocksteady within the Arkhamverse, counting the Arkham Shadow VR game. Well, 5 if you include WB Montreal's Arkham Origins. And let's be honest, nobody's bringing up Suicide Squad into the conversation. That game was blatant disrespect to the franchise. But I will say, there was an attempt made by Rocksteady to finally introduce new characters into the mix. Although, not a very good one. We've seen enough of Batman from Rocksteady, and honestly, I'm getting tired of it, with the exception of the new LEGO Batman game, but that doesn't really count since it's not developed by Rocksteady. I'll put it in the honorary Arkham game category along with Gotham Knights. Getting back to the point. I want to see some new faces from Rocksteady. They don't even have to reinvent the wheel. You could still go on and make a Nightwing game or even a Red Hood game for that matter. There's so many characters within the Bat family and Batman Incorporated that the Arkhamverse could be expanded immensely. So let's take a look at some games I think would be perfect successors to Rocksteady's Arkham series and could very well stay within the universe. I already talked about the first 2 Robins, but how about taking a look at the Batgirls for once? I think doing a game following Arkham Knight with both Cassandra Cain and Stephanie Brown as Batgirls, with Barbara Gordon reprising her role as Oracle to be the intel and guidance for the group would be amazing. Focus on making the combat more brutal to suit these 2 characters, make the traversal more fluid and enjoyable from the constant grappling and gliding to swapping out the Batmobile and doing the Bat Cycle justice for once, unlike Gotham Knights. You could even incorporate hacking sections to include Oracle into the gameplay loop, sort of like an MJ side mission, but more immersive. This could very well be Rocksteady's answer to Insomniac Spider-Man 2, where instead of playing as both Spider-Men, you can tackle a whole new story with a similar playstyle while incorporating unused characters we never got to see within Arkham, being Orphan and Spoiler as the 2 Batgirls. Branching off of this, Rocksteady could even go the route of a Birds of Prey game. We already know they exist within the Arkhamverse, seeing a chat log between Huntress, Oracle, and Black Canary, and we know WB loves their live service games. This would be the perfect opportunity in my eyes to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, no pun intended. You could even add more playable characters down the line, like the aforementioned Cassandra Cain and Stephanie Brown, or even expand further with people like Batwoman, Katana, and Lady Shiva. I have no idea how the game would work, or what it'd be about, but a Birds of Prey game sounds dope in my head. Alright, enough talking about people ripped right out of Gotham. I know everyone would like something new, but I think it's best for Rocksteady to play it safe by leaning into a sense of familiarity with their next hero. I think they do that by making a Green Arrow game. Before you get to commenting saying Oliver Queen has no pull and is just a wannabe Batman, just hear me out. The Arrow TV show was a huge success, and although it was a Batman-esque take on the Emerald Archer, it still worked and a ton of people watched it. I think Oliver Queen is interesting enough to make a successful game out of the Green Arrow. To top it off, it makes a ton of sense given how unique the playstyle would be while still being reminiscent of its Arkham roots. Looking beyond that, you could even expand this universe with characters like Black Canary, Wildcat, Speedy, Red Arrow, and Arsenal. Okay, the last three are sort of the same person, but you get the point. This could be what Rocksteady needs to finally move on from Batman. I would bring up Wonder Woman to compete with Wolverine given his brutality and God of War-like playstyle, but frankly, that game's not happening under WB's watch. Now is the perfect opportunity for Rocksteady to make a comeback and rival Insomniac, which would make for great and much needed competition. I know that these games weren't anything unique, or what you were hoping for, but I think these could work seamlessly within the Arkhamverse and give Rocksteady new characters to work with, without dishonoring the late Kevin Conroy. That pretty much sums up my thoughts and wraps up this video. As always, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What characters do you think Rocksteady should focus on in the next game? Do you want me to make a video talking about how any of these games would work? Or should Rocksteady stick with making Batman games and not take any more risks after the failure that is Suicide Squad killed the Justice League? Comment down below, and if you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like and hitting that subscribe button for more content like this.